Lower pig crop and farrowing intentions support higher prices. The USDA's June Hogs and Pigs report places the June 1st inventory of all hogs and pigs at 75.7 million head, up about a percent from last quarter and down 2% from a year ago, consistent with pre-report estimates. Likewise, the market hog and breeding herd inventories are about 2% less than a year ago, as anticipated. Each weight class of market hogs is down compared to the same time last year, with the heaviest two classes both down about 1.5%, while the lighter two classes are both down about 3%. Overall, the number of hogs weighing less than 180 pounds is nearly 2.5% lower than a year ago, which will be the market hogs arriving at processing plants from July through November of 2021. Now, the decline in lighter weight hogs partly reflects that the March through May pig crop is 3% smaller than last year, which is below the pre report expected range, with about 3% fewer sows farrowed and only 10.95 pigs saved per litter, which was expected to exceed the 11 pigs per litter number observed over the same period last year. Monthly data show that the lower numbers of pigs saved per litter for the period really stems from a dip in March with a return to expected levels since then. As with the lower March through May farrowings relative to last year, producers appear to be moving forward with a cautious outlook as summer and fall farrowing intentions are also both down 4% and 2% respectively from actual farrowings last year. According to the USDA's cold storage report, cold stocks of pork at the end of May are up 1% from the previous month, but down 1% from a year ago. Poultry stocks are up 3% from the prior month, but down 12% from a year ago, while beef is down 8% from the prior month and 1% from last year. While these numbers seem somewhat bearish for pork in that they may reflect a slowdown in U.S. pork exports recently, there still appears to be plenty of room in cold storage. The USDA forecasts U.S. per capita pork consumption at 50.8 pounds per person in 2021, rising to 51.2 pounds per person in 2022. Prior to COVID-19, the U.S. per capita pork consumption reached 52.4 pounds in 2019, or the highest it's been since it was 54.2 pounds in 1981. Hence, strong domestic demand is expected to persist as the U.S. reopens and recovers from the COVID-19 pandemic. The U.S. exported 655 million pounds of pork in April, or about 2% more than in April of 2020. Much of a decrease in shipments to China and Hong Kong were offset by larger exports to Mexico. The USDA estimates U.S. pork exports for the second quarter of 2021 to be 1.9 billion pounds, or about 7% higher than it was last year, and similarly forecasts the last two quarters to be 6 and 7% higher, respectively, raising the total for 2021 by 4% over last year. The first quarter of 2022 is forecast to be 1.9 billion pounds, which is nearly 1.5% lower than the first quarter of 2021. Hence, export demand is anticipated to remain strong for the remainder of the year. Taking all this into account, profitable hog prices should persist into the next year. The forecast presented here is for the national weighted average net price on a carcass basis for all transactions for producer-sold barrows and gilts, including negotiated and contract prices. Now, this net price should be more reflective of what producers receive on average and normally runs at a premium of more than $2 a hundredweight over the base price on average. Although contract prices often exceed cash prices, actually from March through May, this net price averaged $98.83 a hundredweight compared to $103.04 a hundredweight for the corresponding net prices for negotiated or spot transactions. In general, hog prices tend to be higher in the second and third quarters, with lower prices in the first and fourth quarters. And consistent with that pattern, quarterly prices are forecast to average about $100.48 a hundredweight for the third quarter of 2021, falling to $86.58 a hundredweight by the fourth quarter, and then to $80.69 a hundredweight for the first quarter of 2022, before rising to $90.56 a hundredweight in the second quarter. These projections are consistent with the strong demand and lower supplies currently anticipated, the effects of which may weaken somewhat later in the forecast period, particularly if farrowings and pig crops are actually larger than expected or if export demand softens, in which case lower prices will be realized. For the University of Illinois and Western Illinois University, I'm Jason Franken.